All right, here's another episode of Beers, Jacket Barbecue. Today we're going to do something a little different. We got the Kamado Joe fired up out there, the Big Joe. As always, I use the hardwood lump charcoal. But we have the cast iron grate on tonight. I have it on the flat side. We're going to do some scallops. Got these scallops at Costco's. Pretty big bag, about 2.5 pounds in the bag. This is about half the batch right here. So we're just going to do this to kind of control it, because once these hit the cast iron skillet, they go pretty quickly. Didn't really season with anything. What we're going to do is actually just have some brown butter after this is all done. And for most of you, or people that don't know what brown butter is, basically it's just bring the butter to kind of almost a simmer, and it actually starts browning, and that's when you stop. I always call it a Pennsylvania Dutch thing. Don't know if that's the truth or not, but that's kind of where I've always had it from. So we'll see you out in the grill. You're on. All right, so we're going to put the scallops on. Previous experience with an oil had them sticking it, so I'm trying some, they call it ghee, but it's kind of have a version over here with, I mentioned the brown butter. It kind of cooks some of the imperfections out of the butter, and I just took the top part of the butter off. I'm going to brush it on the pan, and then I'm going to put the scallops on this, and hopefully I have enough to not have them stick so much. I also blotted them dry, because it seemed like when we tried them before with the oil, chance it didn't work so well. They wanted to stick, and it seemed like they had a lot of water content to them. So I kind of tried to squeeze as much water out of these as I could. We'll see how these work out this time. These only take about 1 minute to 2 minutes a side, and they're going to be done. All right, we'll be back to check them out. All right, they've been on for about 1 minute and 20 seconds. I'm going to check them out now. The grill is running up above 400 degrees, so I wanted to make sure we let some of that heat escape, so we didn't get any backflash on that. Actually, that seems to be working kind of nice with using that butter like that. Definitely less sticking than a previous experiment we had. Should probably be wearing a glove. This is getting pretty hot on my hand here. They're looking really nice though. All right, be back in another 1.5 minutes, and I'll be taking these off. All right, so they've been on another 1.5 minutes. I'm going to check them out. All right, so now they're looking a little bit kind of like they were the first time we tried it, but nothing's sticking really yet, so that's a good thing. Definitely the butter that we used here is definitely an improvement for the sticking. And I think also if I mentioned it before, we blotted them dry. And actually I squeezed them a little bit as I was trying to blot them dry to get as much water out of them as I could. And I think that actually helped too. And plus, not using the oil as far as being the seasoning that I put on here. So we'll take them inside, see how they are. All right, as always, start with a sip of beer. So tonight we did scallops on the cast iron grate. What we'll probably show is we actually did 2 batches of them, because the first batch I seasoned the cast iron with a little bit of oil, and we had a lot of sticking and there was a lot of water in the scallops themselves. For the second batch, which is the batch you see in front of you, we actually took what they call ghee, or it wasn't really official because I didn't strain it, but I actually just took the yellow butter off the top of what we call brown butter here. And the brown butter, as you can see here, is next to me. A little bit of brown in color. It's actually kind of slightly burnt is what makes that. The other thing, the first batch seemed to have a lot of water content, so I actually blotted everything dry, extra dry, to try to get as much water out of the scallops themselves. So for this batch here, did it. As you can see by the video that, we didn't have any sticking with these. Actually worked out really nice. A little bit of water content at the end, but that's the nice thing about working with a grill. Kind of every cook can be an experiment when you're trying to do something out there. I made scallops once before. Everything worked out great. Just could be a different type of scallop that I used tonight. But real happy with how this turned out, and we're going to let you go now. We're going to have some good scallops. So if you like what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel. Let us know if you have any questions or comments. Give us a thumbs up. We'll have our contact information below. And as always, we have an outline of everything we did tonight. So we'll see you next time.